Hi, this is Todd Christensen with MoneyFit by DRS. I so appreciate Girish for inviting me on to the Back to Basics show. Please subscribe and keep on listening. And remember, everything in life is going back to basics.
Hi, my name is Julie Wald. Thank you so much to Back to Basics for having me over. Don't forget to subscribe and to listen, and remember that everything in life is going back to
Hello, folks. My name is Girish Bali, the host for Back to Basics. Thank you all for coming here online, live, and we're going to have a great time today. And everyone knows that we're going to be talking to Back to Basics, right? And we're going to be calling. Someone is going to be calling in today, and I think they should. And guess what the number is going to be? It's going to be 513 Yo B2B1, and that's 513 900 2221. So you can actually ask a question to my guest or ask a question to me. Please be mindful, because you know what? We do have a short time and she has a very, very tight schedule. And I don't want to make it too complicated for her. We're a basic show. We're a family show. So thank you all for coming here. So we're going to be starting shortly. We're going to talk about automation. We're going to talk about machine learning. We're going to talk about the device that it just launched like a few days ago, or matter of fact, just yesterday. And it was a Kickstarter. And let's see how that Kickstarter started. Well, it started with a pledge. It started with the design. It started with a whole bunch of stuff behind it. And we're going to talk about that as to what this whole thing is all about. And Tanushree is here talking about this device and what it started, the journey, the struggles. And I think they're still struggling because they're still learning as they go, because every business person, every developer comes with a struggle. And we're going to find that out. And that's the entrepreneur life. So Tanushree, how are you? And thanks for coming to Back to Basics.
Thanks, Girish, for having me over. I'm glad I could actually be here.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you again for coming here on Back to Basics. But before we talk about your life and the struggles that you have gone through to come up with this device and your team and everything else, what does Back to Basic mean to you?
Okay. I think back to basics for me, it would mean something, that you move forward, but you still keep the goodness of the, past with you, and you don't really get detached from your roots in a way. So there's always something nice to take forward, but definitely, moving forward is equally important. The times change and we have to, pace up and accept new technologies, new ways of life, but we should still somehow keep the goodness of the past with us.
Yeah. Thank you again, Tanushree, for answering that question, and thank you again for coming on the show. Let me ask you this device that we're going to be talking about, is it more automation, or is it more machine learning, or is it kind of both?
It's kind of both, I would say. Definitely, there's a lot of work has gone behind building it up and bringing it together. And definitely, it's not just the device; it's the entire bundle. Like we also have an app that supports the device, and actually, the entire experience of the device is when you bring everything together. So in isolation, maybe bits and pieces will be missing, but when it comes together, the entire experience of using that device, and then the experience of using it along with the application is something that really completes it in uh, and brings to you the perfect and the best experience that we're trying to create here.
Absolutely, absolutely. Thank you again, Tanushree, for answering that question. You know, whoever is online right now, they can just go to createwithquill.com and you can take a look at that device, what that device kind of looks like. So create with quill, QUILL.com. I'm gonna put that on the screen later today. But it'll tell you the device, it'll be like a cube with a pencil on the top there. So Tanushree, let me ask you this, and let's step back a little, right? And we understand that this is a machine learning, this is automation, this is with the app and the device and a whole fun stuff. But where did this idea come from? Because there are other devices similar to this, right? Because you can have a pen with a tablet, you can have a pen with, let's say, a monitor. But how is this different than those devices?
I think the best way to put it together will be, the name that we chose for the device, which is Quill. It takes you all the way back to the ancient, writing instrument that actually has contributed to the human development, the human race, the development of the human race as we know it today. Because communication is the key to development.
Hmm.
So what the quill is where you you dip it in an ink and you transfer it on paper. What we have done is we have reimagined the device, the idea of quill, for the 21st century. We do have a lot of styluses in market where and we have the tabs and we have compatible styluses and everything is actually available, but nobody really gives you that experience of that seamless experience of taking a color and real time drawing on your tablet.
Hmm.
You can, with quill you can literally, if you have a inspirational product, something that really ticks you off, a certain color of red which you want to bring in your digital environment, it really equips you to that. Where in I mean, you do have those products available, but they are not those, they don't really give you that experience. You have to manually do things, but here you can actually literally bring in the colors around you in your digital environment, and you can have that real experience of picking up a color and drawing with it
Hmm.
with the latest technology.
Hmm.
Definitely you can have it on paper, but
Hmm.
like I said, we back to basics means you move forward, but you keep connected with the roots. So I think that's where it all connects with the
Yeah.
quill also.
So, Tanushree, thank you again for that. And I'm going to go down to the basics of this, if you don't mind, because I need people to understand. Actually, I need to
Oh,
understand for myself.
okay.
When I saw the picture itself, it actually looks like an alarm clock, right? Because that's what the look and feel is, and the radio feel, right? Was that the thought process? Is to bring the people calm down a little, or the thought process is visually needs to be a little different?
So I'll try to explain the entire product bundle to you guys.
Sure.
So definitely Quill, it is the hero, and then we have the Cube, which is uh, a smart Alexa enabled speaker,
Hmm.
which also is a wireless charger for the
Hmm.
Quill.
Hmm.
And the way we've planned this entire product, it's all around the kids and how they really need a personal assistance, because being in this day and age, even the kids have very tight schedule and they have to be ahead of the time and ahead of their schedule all the time. So
Hmm.
you have to so the idea is that we have the quill, we have the supporting app, and we have the cube, which all bundles together, and it really contributes to keeping you on track. There's a module in the app which you can log in with your any email account, and it sort of gets to know all the schedules and any class you have, any for let's say if you're talking about kids, if there's an upcoming class that they need to attend, it will announce it to them so that they are aware of their schedule.
Hmm.
So it all brings that entire personal assistance for a child, for that matter,
Hmm.
where you have the app where obviously you can plan your day, and then you have the entire experience of being able to capture a color and draw in our very very interesting and very one of its kind application that we have. where we combine 2D and 3D elements together. So
Hmm.
it's definitely something that is not something that very much available right now. We are trying to do something new,
Hmm.
where kids can come together on a whiteboard. They can start drawing, they can start painting, and they can add their friends to the same whiteboard. So it's we are promoting social learning also.
So,
So the clock you're talking about is more like the speaker, which
hmm.
also is a wireless charger for the quill.
Hmm. So I'm gonna go, and I think somebody just mentioned what's the website, and the website just came up, and it's createwithquill.com, and
Right.
that's the website there. So
Yeah.
let me ask you this, right? And I'm pretty sure someone's gonna ask this question for anybody here. I have several Alexas in my house, right? Why do I need another device at home? I mean, do I eliminate it, or do I put it on top of it, or it is totally independent from the when I say Alexa, I'm talking about even Google or any other AI devices out there. So what are your thoughts on that part?
I think it all connects it all together. I mean, definitely we do have those, but we are bringing that feature to our Quill experience also. So it only adds to the experience. It adds to another device that is connected to all the other devices in your house, and it all just brings up more connectivity for children, for that matter, and it's something very personal to them.
Hmm. Yeah, thank you again for that. So let's talk about this pen, right? When I saw the video, that the pen is the key, isn't it, to this whole device?
Right. Quill.
So is that the brain, or is that the brain of the cube is the brain? I mean, it looks like the cube is more of a charger for the pen, or is it the other way around? So you tell me, explain that if you don't mind.
No, I would really say that all of the products are individually important to the bundle,
Hmm.
and definitely there's no this. It's not like that this one aspect is the brain and the other is not. It's not really like that.
Hmm.
Even if you're not using the cube, as you mentioned, I'm referring to the clock that you mentioned.
Hmm.
If it's not really charging, the quill, it still has more function to play in your life in general, because
Hmm.
like I said, it can announce your schedule. It can You can use it. You can make it play a certain song for you which you want to.
Hmm.
And I think everything else that comes with the Alexa features, like I mentioned, it's an Alexa enabled device, so
Hmm.
it does more than just charge quill.
Yeah, Tanushree, thank you again for that. And in the beginning of the show, I mentioned about the struggles, right? What was the biggest struggle that you found by making this whole product? I mean, from all the way down from the app all the way down to the device itself. I mean, I guess the device would be the design, right? But then the brain is going to be something else. So can you explain that, the struggles of that?
Yeah, so I think the struggles will definitely be the aspirations that we had with the product, and we want to bring in all possible, the latest features that are scattered around in separate apps and separate products. We want to combine them together in a single bundle, and I think that's where the main struggle comes from, where you want to add all those features into a pen that is, of how a writing instrument needs to be in terms of the dimension and the form factor and the weight and all of that. So fitting all those features and not skipping, because at many places where it was like you want to we it was always a choice that we had to make, and we always chose to stick with keeping the feature.
Hmm.
And even if it makes pushes the struggle for another couple of weeks, we did. And I think that's how the entire product has come together in the way it is.
Hmm.
Even if I talk about the app, it is not very straightforward to it's not a very basic something that already exists and we're just trying to make another version of it. It's not really that. Even I think we've again, the development, how it works, where you have to push the team, okay, let's try to achieve it, and
Hmm.
all of those. Because I think individually, all those features exist, but when you try to combine them together in a single product,
Hmm.
that's where the struggle happens. Where you have limitations in terms of the device capacity and the connectivity and everything else that comes together.
Yeah, Tanushree, thank you again for explaining that. And I think there's a person online just asking a question saying, does the light affect the hue during the color picking? Uh,
So yeah. So I'll explain that how it works. So
mm,
if you've seen the picture of the device, so how it works is that the sensor is sitting at the rear end of the quill, and it has a cavity which uh, sort of encloses that entire the surface that you're trying to scan. It isolates any external light, and then it lights up a neutral light which aids accurate color picking.
hmm,
So in case if the user is not really closing the entire external light completely, then
hmm,
the quill shows an error.
hmm.
It doesn't really scan. So it has that brain to understand if the external light is completely locked or not, and only then it scans. And
So,
the same color is, it lights up on the LED which you see in the form factor design.
so, so, so let me ask you this in a different way. So I'm taking this pen, you see
Yeah,
this pen in front of me, right? And then
right,
you're pointing here. So
right.
what is that pen supposed to tell me again? Explain that again.
Okay, so the entire process goes like where there's a button on the pen, you
Okay.
double tap it, it
Hmm.
gets into the color picking mode. Okay,
Okay.
so then you have some time to put it on a surface
Hmm.
which you want to scan, and you have to, and the way it has to completely lock the external light. External
Hmm.
light as in if the cross section of both the surfaces have to completely lock
Hmm.
properly, so there's no external light entering that scanning area, that surface that you're trying to scan.
Okay.
And then the pen knows that all the external light is locked, and it scans the color. So
Hmm.
let's say if somebody is not holding the pen, like if you see the design, it's chamfered at the edge. So
Yeah.
let's say if you hold it perpendicularly to the surface, so it doesn't really lock the light completely, so the pen will know that the external light is not locked, and it will not scan.
Hmm. So now the question is that, thank you for that explanation. So on the tip of the pen is the sensor, right? So
Right.
now, which means that if the sensor is broken or the sensor is blocked, so how do we fix that? Is that an easy fix, or is that's not an easy fix? Is it? It's a
We have made sure that it doesn't really happen that way, because the sensor is sitting a few mm's inside the surface, and
Hmm.
there's a protective glass over it.
Okay.
So we've in terms of the design, we have made sure that it's a robust design. It doesn't really happen, but I mean, I don't see a normal scenario where it can get damaged.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you again. You don't have the device in front of you that we can demonstrate or anything like that, right? Or do
Uh, I have it actually. I have a prototype. It's
okay,
let me try to show it to you. So yeah, so this is the sensor that we're talking about, and this is the uh, stylus tip.
okay, okay. And the cube is the charging of that pen. That's just how it works.
Yeah. So if you see here, we have two pogo pin connectors,
Hmm.
and you just dock it on the cube. It starts charging.
Okay, so if you don't mind just showing it one more time, what I'll
Okay.
do is give me a second. Yeah,
Okay.
you can show it on your end there again.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
So guys,
these are the
if you look
connectors.
at it, that's the sensor, and that's the point that she's talking about, and that goes directly into the cube. And I think the cube, what does it do again? It charges the pen, correct?
Right. Right.
And okay, and what is the battery life of that unit itself or that pen itself?
The pen on a full charge will last for easily about 9 hours.
9 hours. Okay, okay. So does this cube, um, does it do everything else what a kind of Alexa does, and where does it get this information from? I mean, uh,
So
does,
yeah, so I'll explain that to you. So
yes.
when you get your device, you download the Alexa, the Quill app, and that's where you have to create an account, and you have this entire user journey where you create a Quill account, and then you link it with your existing Amazon Alexa account,
Mm.
or if you don't have one, you can create it.
Okay, okay. So, which means that we are feeding the data into that app, and that's how
Yeah,
it starts learning.
yeah, that's how it works.
That's how it works. Okay. And this is on a prototype right now, or is it out in the market that I can just go and purchase?
It's like like we mentioned in the beginning of the show, it's on
Yeah.
Kickstarter.
Yeah.
We have the proof of concept, everything is done, and we are currently on Kickstarter. So I think with a few months wait, if you book now, you will have the device with you.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just an FYI, guys, I've actually purchased it, so I'll be getting it soon. So I'm not really sure whenever that is, but I'm quite excited about it,
No, no,
honestly.
that'll be soon. That'll be soon. A few
That'll be
months.
awesome, awesome. So thank you again, Tanushree. If anyone wants to ask any questions to the guest or even myself about the show or anything else, whatever we're doing, please call in at 513-900-2221, and that's 513 yo B2B1. And make sure when you do call in, just say yo B2B and then ask the question if you don't mind. And please be mindful because we are live. We want to be very diligent to the show itself, and so at least I'll give you a minute to be on that call there. So that's 513-900-2221. If anyone wants to call, please do call, because I would like to know from you guys that if there's something else that I should learn from this device. And I think I've learned a lot in these 20 minutes. So thank you again, Tanushree. So while we're waiting for phone calls, it'll be like another 10 minutes, guys, before we close the poll and everything else, and then we can end the call today. But Tanushree, can you explain who you are and how did you started this whole process? Did you always wanted to be a technologist and or a programmer? I mean, what was your journey?
Uh, I think I would say that it was never a plan. I have done a graduation in design,
Hmm.
and post that I have worked in multiple categories of multiple product categories for that matter. I worked with garments, I have worked with digital products, I have worked with home interiors also. So I think for me, designing is more of, I mean, the category or the product changes for you, but it's more like something that you do on a regular basis. It's more of a state of mind. It's more
Hmm.
of your ability to observe and understand the user group you're dealing with. It can be anyone. And
Hmm.
like for Quill, it was kids. So I think if you spend a lot of time understanding your user and your user group and the needs and their schedules and what they do and what, just completely psychologically understand the group, it
Hmm.
I think you can work on it.
Yeah, yeah,
You'll
yeah.
have insights around it.
Thank you again for that. And it seems like it was a long journey for you, wasn't it? Until I
Yeah,
think you
yeah.
figured out that this is kind of the calling for you, and this is like a passion for you now. Or do you think that this is just another project and you just want to get it over with?
No, no. I would say I'm more of, every project is very, very close to my heart because whenever I take up something, I have to really connect to it. Otherwise, I'm not at my best if I don't. So
Of
I have to really understand like I said, that entire journey of, understanding your user group. That really, in a process, organically, if you're doing it right, you are connected to it, and you can't really design without being connected to a product for that matter, I would say.
yeah, yeah,
So it is
absolutely.
very close to my heart for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you again for that. Let me ask you this here. Now that we know that the prototype is coming up and the Kickstarter started and it kind of launched yesterday, right? And it was getting good responses from what
Right.
I've been
Yeah, yeah,
told.
yeah.
Yeah. So what is Quill for the next 5 years? Because it seems like this is just the first prototype or first device or first generation of it. So what's your next goal after this?
Oh, yeah, yeah. So definitely, this is the first generation. We do want to make multiple versions of this also. Let's
Hmm.
say because right now we are targeting kids as a segment, and then we would want to make something for pro users also. And for in that case, we'll have to obviously the quill will stay, but everything else around it will have to evolve as per the user we are targeting. And we have huge plans around the app itself, app and the whole product and the whole bundle. like I said, everything in this bundle is a product in itself.
Mm.
So I mean, I can only imagine possibilities that we can think of, many things that we can do around this product.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you again for that. And whoever wants to go to that website, you can go to that website now, and you can actually just order yourself a device. And I think it'll be on Kickstarter, it'll be on Live, or whatever it is. Whenever you go and see this episode, please go to this website, create with quill .com, and you can just go there right now. It'll be on Kickstarter. But whenever you go there, it might not be a Kickstarter. It'll be live as soon as you go there. So that's a thought process there. So thank you again, Tanushree, for coming here on this show, and I hope you enjoy the show. But before you leave, do you have any last words and last comments to all my listeners and my viewers? And how was your journey on Back to Basics too? On top of that,
Um, I think it was very interesting, and I like you asked very new questions, which because obviously I'm being in the journey of really developing it, you really get to hear very different kind of questions. But yeah, so I mean, I think it was very interesting for me to look at my product in that way, and overall, I think it was a great experience for me. And the last words would be, guys, I mean, we are already on Kickstarter. We are almost 80% bagged on our goal, and um it really confirms the belief that we have in the product. And please do take a look and go to Create with Quill. And yeah, that's about it.
yeah. Thank
Thanks
you.
for your time.
No, thank you again, Tanushree, for coming here. But I have one last question. It looks like someone actually had a question. They
Sure.
said that how many colors are recorded, or is it pretty much all the colors? I mean,
So we do have a number, but it covers all the colors. I think 16 million plus colors it can capture.
okay, awesome, awesome, awesome. I hope that answers that question for the last person there, because he's also a marketer designer, so that's why I think he's
Wow.
asking. So thank you
Great.
again for that, and he's been helping me on the back end when it comes to Back to Basics. So thank you again all for coming here and supporting me and supporting the Tanushree for her device that, or I should say, the company's device that who's coming up with this. So thank you again for that. And Tanushree, thank you again for coming to Back to Basics, for supporting me on the small podcast that I have and trying to go down to the basics when it comes to this device and what the goal is for the next at least couple of years, maybe not 5 years, but you have a lot of long way to go. So thank you again for coming here and supporting me.
Thank you for the same. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So, guys, we spoke with Tanushree today and we talked about the basics of that device, right? The Quill device, that is. So, if you go to that website called createwithquill.com, you can just go and order that device. I totally love it. I'm very excited. I'm just like a little kid going to the candy store and just picking that up. So, guys, as usual, thank you again for all the support. And as usual, as always, you know that there's a quote of the day from Back to Basics, and hopefully my guest will like that quote. And the quote is, a baby learns to crawl, walk, and then run. We are in the crawling stage when it comes to applying machine learning. Now, isn't that what this is? I think this device is still learning as we go, right? And 80% of people are ordering this already, which means that people are loving this device and they're understanding the machine learning out of this whole thing. And I'm pretty sure there'll be versions 2 and 3 and hopefully 5 for that matter, okay? But what we can still do is still crawl and we're still learning. That's the main thing. Always think ahead. Now, as usual, as always, what do we always say at the end of the episode? Everything in life goes back to basics, and that's what we did today, guys. Guys, take care. God bless. And remember, comment on all my episodes and support me and rate me because it helps me and makes me understand that you guys are learning and supporting me, and I do need your love and support. And there are three things, according to this episode and every episode, makes it a hit for me, that is, which is the content, the guest, and definitely the host. Guys, take care. God bless. And I will see you next time on Back to Basics. And guys, thank you all for supporting me on Back to Basics. And we will be going live next time. Please stay tuned on Back to Basics on Instagram, everywhere because I do support. And if you go to my LinkedIn, you'll see all the schedules that I've had, and it'll be interesting stuff, great stuff. And guys, take care. God bless. And I will see you next time. Back to basics.